YouTube, hi, how you going? It's Isky here. Yeah, I'm just thought I'd pull the camera out again and go for a take two, because I pulled this camera out this morning and unfortunately the video I was working on didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. I thought I'd try and fix a couple, well, at least fix one 3D printer over there on the new cutout table that is sitting in my workshop. You may remember last week or just recently, depending on when I uploaded the video, I moved this table from my home cinema that I'm about to start building, and I relocated it up here. So today was going to be my very first project on the table, and unfortunately it didn't really go to plan. Didn't go to plan at all. Basically, this is an Ender 3 Pro, and I wanted to put that extruder on, and that worked out really well. The only problem is, when I went to do a print, it didn't work out so good. And this morning we had a movie on keeping us company, and I've got a movie on now keeping us company. This is, I think this is called Polar, and it's awesome. I don't mind it. I like the guy that's in it, the main actor. He's the guy he invented the Death Star, I think. And yeah, it's pretty, whoa. But anyway, maybe you guys shouldn't be watching this. Let's just, whoa. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, we got a movie to keep us company. I can't remember what I had on this morning, but today we have, tonight we have Polar. Not that I can hear it. I'm actually, basically, well, we have to turn back, don't we? We can't just turn away. We can't just turn away. Cindy! Hello, Cindy. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm basically just testing this projector out. Bought this projector last week. Cost me $50. The guy said it was broken, but it ain't broken. He said he tried to turn it on 2 years ago, and he said no light came out. But it's been working ever since. Well, it's been working since I bought it off him a week ago, and yeah, he paid like $3,500 for it. So you got to see that video. I'll stick it up somewhere. It is so funny because I can't believe my luck. But yeah, so basically it's been going pretty well for, I'd say, what, the whole week. I've been playing it every night and during the day. And the picture is amazing. The contrast levels are great. But listen, I am getting off track again. Let's have a look at this other machine. So what I thought is, seeing I couldn't get that Ender 3 Pro printing properly, it seemed like a bit of a failed video. I thought, listen, I got this machine that I'm trying to get working. I got to get one machine working so I can print some Chrissy presents out. And I thought, hey, listen, this should theoretically be an easy fix. So let's have a look. What I want to do is, you can see here, I've actually pulled off the hot end of this machine, and I am going to put on, hopefully, this all-metal hot end by Micro Swiss. Let's have a look at the box. I got this about 5 months ago, and I'm only just doing it now. But, oh, listen, I had, I think, some problems with this machine earlier on this year, and I just stopped printing, as you do. And when I finally fixed it up, I went to put a new nozzle on, and it turns out that these bloody CR-10s Pro and the CR-10s Pro version 2, which mine is, they jerk you around and they kind of shaft you and say, listen, you're not allowed to use standard nozzles on this machine. You have to use our special nozzles, which cost, you know, 2 or 3 times as much as what you would pay for just a standard nozzle, and they're no better. They just decided they wanted to put their own threads on them, and they don't actually screw in there into the heat block. So I went, well, screw you guys. I will actually spend the extra $60 or $70, whatever that cost me. And the best part about these all-metal hot ends, apart from the fact that you should theoretically not get as many clogs, nozzle clogs, but you can put the standard nozzle on here, which is awesome, and they cost like $1 or something each. So I love that fact, so we're going to try and put that on today. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. I think we're just going to try and do it like I was doing my first video this morning, which was dodgy as hell. But I think if I just put this camera there, I think that should work. What do you think? I think that should work. So now, let me just show you something. Now, when I first started doing this machine this morning, I kind of said to myself, hey, listen, I don't have anything here from the dump. How am I going to fit this in with the dump rat channel? But then I realized that this, you know, MacBook Pro that I have here, I got that from the dump, and that's what I was actually looking at. I was actually looking at a YouTube how-to video, how to change this extractor, extruder, not extractor, an extruder. And yeah, I thought, well, there you go. That's my dump part. That's my dump find for this video. That MacBook Pro. But funny enough, this Apple iPad, which when I found it was basically a new iPad, yeah, that was on the table too, and that's what I'm using as my remote control for the Kodi system. And yeah, but for this particular video, what's even cooler, have a look at this. We have ourselves here a 27-inch iMac computer, and it is gorgeous, a beautiful machine. And where do you think I got that from? You betcha. I picked it up. Listen, I don't actually think there was anything wrong with this machine. In fact, no, I don't think there was anything. Oh, there was. And it's so minor. Check this out. I think if I actually hit the space. Now, can you guys, you probably can't even see it. I can't even, it's hard to see, but can you see there's like tiny little pinstripes on the screen? See those tiny little pinstripes on they go all the way through. But if you stand back here, you can't see them. But I don't know, there's something going on with the LCD panel, but honestly, you can't even notice that. The funny thing is, I've actually got about 10 more of these computers upstairs. I could probably just go and get another one, but oh, this is good. I've got really good, I think I've got the latest operating system on here now, so it's all good. And we have the Micro Swiss all metal Hotend kit for a CR-10s Pro printer. So we've got our how-to video. If we're going to use that, I'm not sure if we'll use it too much. I think this is a pretty easy thing to do. We got our, what do they call this? What's that boing, boing, boing animated thing? That's the lamp out of the, oh shit, what's it called? You know what I'm talking about. Toy Story, who makes that? You know, and they had that lamp that bounces out. I had to pick that up from the dump. Oh yeah, that's another dump find. There you go, we got a couple of dump find things. But anyway, let's stop yabbing and let's actually start doing some stuff. Now, what we have to do, you can see here, I've actually already, it was actually probably 5 months ago, I pulled this whole thing apart. Let me just bring this down a little bit down there. Yeah, I've already pulled it apart. So the idea, so you see here, that's our heating element, this tube. And this here is our, is it thermostat? Thermistor? Now, that little thing there, now actually let me just pull out this heat block. So I'm pretty sure, let's just start. Okay, we're starting. Ready, set, go. All right, so let me just pull that out. Is that it? Is there any, oh yeah, so basically the grub screws are already in there. That's good. I thought we're missing some screws here. And that is our thermistor screw. All right, so the thing is, we have to start putting this together. So let's begin. Now, I've only watched this video once or twice, so I'm not even sure I know what I'm doing, but I might have to basically go and check that video every now and then. So anyway, now, the deal is we want to get this listen, before I begin, this isn't an instructional video, okay? Listen, I'm just going to park you here because you might get a better view of what I'm doing if you're there. This isn't an instructional video, I'm just messing around. I thought I'd pull the camera out and get some practice with videoing. And yeah, hang on, I have to get some Allen keys. Hopefully, let's see if that fits. Yep, that fits. Yeah, so I thought I'd just pull the camera out. I'm not really good at filming these tiny little things, and I'm not going to spend all day making a video on something that there's about 10 other videos already on YouTube explaining. So what we have to do there, we want to slide this heat block in this heat block, what, tunnel? I don't know. And we want to, you know, just tighten these grubber screws. A bit tighter than that. The thing is, we don't really want to tighten them very overly tight, because we want to heat this up afterwards, and then we want to, it's still not tight. And then we want to do it again, don't we? We want to actually tighten them when it's really hot. Now, are you going to stay in there this time? Yeah, that's got it. Now, the next bit, I'm a little bit kind of apprehensive about doing, and that's because we've got this thermistor that's supposed to go into this hole here. If you can see that, let me just see if I can bring Pixar. That's what it is, the Pixar. It's a Pixar lamp. So anyway, yeah, we want to get this little thermistor here, this little thing there in that hole, and then is it this hole here, I think, and then we want to put a screw in there and tighten it down. Now, when I actually pulled this out of the original one, there was thermal paste in there. I've looked at a bunch of videos and no one is putting thermal paste in, so I am assuming that that is okay. I do have thermal paste, but listen, I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to put that there like that. Now, how does this go? Is it that way? Listen, let me just have a look. I am going to look at the video and just see the way they're doing this, the way it's aimed, what direction it's going. All right, so these little grub screws here, they are at the front like I thought. It's just a weird setup with this bloody thermistor. I have to be really careful because these wires are just so delicate, you know. Hopefully, oh man, they're just, it was pretty rough when I pulled this out, if I remember correctly. Wish I had some tweezers. I'm just going to stick that. You guys probably can't see anything I'm doing. All right, listen, that thermistor's in there at the moment. I'm just going to put that there and then pop this screw in there. In fact, what I'm going to do is actually put the screw in and first start it off. It's going to be a lot easier, I think. May even do a bit, oh there we go, I was going to say I may even do some time lapse, but I think we got it. Oh, it's actually a Phillips head. What a nice change, eh? Let's get our Phillips head. Alright, let's stick that there. Now we have to get this over there, and I know you guys can't see, I'm sorry, but trust me. Oh, there we go. Actually, that wasn't too bad. Oh, that looks good. Let's actually just make sure that's poked right down in there. And we will tighten this up, so you don't tighten it too much. Now that should be enough to hold that in. Actually, I want to do, I've got one, this end's looking good, but I might try and back this screw out a bit and put that other wire on as well. And I'm sorry you really can't see what I'm doing. I think we got it now. So how's this, eh? A dump rat channel, a home cinema channel, 3D printer channel, all in one. All right, so I think that's just about got that. Hopefully that's not gonna, I think that should be okay. I really would have loved to have taken this tape off, you know, what's it called, Capron tape or something, just to, no, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I think that's good enough. Now, what's next? Let's have a look in the box. Is there any other, I think we have to put the, I think we have to put this, do we have to put the, where is it? The nozzle on now? I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the video.
Your new kit should come with the slotted heater block, cooling block with a silicone sock, and the hardware kit.
Sure does.
Reinstall the heater cartridge and the thermistor on the new heater block, as this can damage and shorten the signal wires.
Oh, come on. Next.
Next, screw in the titanium thermal brake into the heater block and tighten it with the provided 7mm spanner.
Oh, we have
It's important to install the titanium piece first before installing the nozzle. This will ensure a proper seal.
Okay, let's do that. All right, so by the way, when they put that thermistor wires on, it just looks so much nicer than mine. All right, so let's pull this out. Oh gee, it's nice. Feels really nice. They machine these in the States. That's awesome. Okay, so what do they call this thing? Heater brake or something? They said to screw that in now. Let me just back it up again. Yep.
Install the nozzle.
Okay. Hang on, I accidentally. Okay, so that's done. They did actually grab their little spanner tool and tighten that up a little bit. I have a feeling we'll be tightening that up at the end with some heat once we turn it on. Let's just put that, is that going to fit? That fits. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so what did they say? Install the nozzle. So there's a nozzle in here. Okay, so we want to put that in there. Nope, definitely not. This better fit. Yes. Give that bit of a tight twist. Okay, so that bit's done. Next.
Install the nozzle. Install the new cooling block onto the carriage plate.
Okay, we're going to install, they call this a cooling block, onto the carriage plate. So we need some long screws by the looks of things. They're empty, they're empty. I would say that those 2 long screws are what we're after. Be very careful. Gee, there's some tiny little grubber screws in there, so you don't want to lose those. Which I have a tendency to lose any screw that is really important. Okay, are they hex head? Yep, Allen keys. All right, so we need to stick this. Let's actually angle you up again. So let's just start by putting it through there first, and get this ready. Yeah, does that fit? That looks good to me. Nice. Next. Okay, let's just tighten those off a bit. Okay, looks good. Next.
Insert the grub screw into the cooling block and screw it about 1 turn. Install the heater block and the thermal brake assembly into the cooling block. Make sure the thermal brake is seated fully inside the cooling block. Tighten the grub screw, but keep in mind that we will come back and tighten it more after preheating.
All right, okay, so that little grub screw, jeez Louise, man. Well, there's 2 of them here. I don't know why they give us 2. But let's just put them there, shall we? But it's probably a good thing that they give you 2, because you're bound to lose one. So basically they want us to put one of these in. Let me just turn this around. They want us to put this grubber screw in there, or at least just start it. But to be completely honest, I think, is that going to be the right fit? Oh yeah, that fits good. There you go, I dropped it. Frack. Oh, there it is at the back. Man, and it's the same colour as the machine, so how easy is that to lose? Just give it 1 turn, they say, or I'll give it a couple. And they want us to slide this heat block in there. Now, do we keep this on that side, or do we keep this on? I'm going to have to see what. I want to see where those wires are. Let's see. Oh, god damn it! This video doesn't have all of these BL touch wires, so I'm just going to have to do some cable management, and let's just say we put them, actually I think maybe it's supposed to go up here. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense because then they get burnt, wouldn't they? I don't know, where do you put them? Maybe just drop them down like that, so at the back. I can't remember. Listen guys, I'm just going to freeze you and go back and have a look at some pictures of me pulling my old one off so I can work out exactly where these BL touch wires, whether they went at the front or at the back. Actually, let me just see. I don't know if it matters, to be honest. I think you should be able to. So that turns around this way, right? Think. Listen, yeah, I'll be back in a second. Okay, all right, so the reason I wanted to have a look at this is you can see these wires here, these run down to the if we can get it in focus, the BL touch here. So these wires, they're the wire, that's the wiring harness for the BL touch. Now I just wanted to know how to run that, but by the looks it was actually sitting behind there. That's what I thought it was, but then I thought, if that heatsink gets too hot, wouldn't it melt through those wires? But I just went back and had a look at the photos of how it was with that other, the one that I, with the old one, and that's exactly how it was. It was actually touching the old heatsink and running behind there. So I'm just going to go with it, I think. I'm just going to, yeah, just do that. All right, now, so I have actually tightened this grub screw up a little bit, but by the sounds of things, I'm actually going to back it off and do it again while you're watching. You have to make sure that that's pushed up really tight, but we have to go through and re-tighten that anyway as soon as, can you guys see? I mean, like, sorry, I know this isn't I've said this before, this is definitely not an instructional video, but we will be going back to, turning this on, heating this up and retightening these screws. So listen, I'm just going to set you there, angle you up so you can see, and I'm going to jump back on the computer and have a look at what they're saying to do next.
Keep in mind that we will come back and tighten it more after preheating. Plug in the printer and power it on.
And it looks like that's the time, that's what we have to do now, eh? They want us to preheat this thing and tighten things up. So I have to just grab a power, we'll pull it out of the ender 3. Stick that in there. Oh, come on. Temperature. Automatic. Oh no, hang on. We want a manual. What do they say? 230 degrees. Nozzle preheat. 230. Okay. Cycle power. An issue exists with the bed or nozzle temperature sensor. Connect to serial monitor. If reading is 0, condition is open. If too high, condition is a short to ground. Oh, great. So I have a feeling that maybe that thermistor is stuffed. I may have broken it. Great. Bloody hell. I'm just going to turn that off. I have a feeling the thermistor is broken. So what should we do? Let's actually just take the heating block off. Bloody hell. That means I have to order another one, and that's going to take how many weeks to get to me? The wires don't look broken. That's definitely not smashed at all. But you know, I'm pretty sure I was a little bit rough when I was pulling it apart. I wasn't really sure what this was at the time. So I guess I definitely could have broken that. Then again, it could be the heat block. But that's pretty strong. I don't think it'll be the heat block. Yeah, so I got an error warning when I turn that on. Listen, I'm not going to screw that back in. I'm just going to turn the machine back on and see if we get the same error code come up. Well, the BL Touch isn't going crazy like it was before. Let's go temperature, manual, nozzle preheat, 230. All right, what do you think? Do you think this is going to back out? Let's have a look. Yep. There you go, thermistor error. So it's the thermistor, not the heat block. Cycle power. An issue exists with the bed or nozzle. Temperature sensor. Yeah, so it's definitely the nozzle temperature sensor. I reckon I'm going to have to replace that. If too high, condition is a short to ground. Ah, bloody hell. Far out. I don't even think I've got anything else here that I can use in its stead. Damn it. I was going so well, weren't we? We were doing, I'm not even looking, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera and seeing what you guys are looking at. Yeah, oh, we were doing so good, but it looks like I have to replace that thermistor. Bloody hell. I think they're only a couple of bucks, but it's just the time it takes. Okay, listen, I'm just going to turn you off for a second and work out what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm back. I've worked all of this out. So looks like we've got a broken thermistor. I went and ordered 5 on eBay just now, so it's going to take a couple of weeks to get to me, I think. But what I've just done is I've come back and I've actually kind of put it back in, reinstalled it, but I actually had this screw quite tight. Well, it wasn't that tight, but it was squashing the wire. But now that I've actually relaxed that off and I've actually jiggled it around a bit, and I just turned it on and I tried it and it's working okay. Now, there's no way I would actually trust that when doing a big print, but for now, we might get away with it, and that might just get me through until the next ones turn up, and then I will go through and I will replace them, because the ones that I ordered are actually for a CR-10s, I think, or an Ender 3 as well, and I don't think the JST plug at the other end will actually fit in this particular printer, so I'm actually going to cut them in, well, just cut the top off the wire and just splice them together and solder them. It's probably the easiest thing to do anyway. So I am actually going to just go back and try and finish this off, you know, because I'd like to actually get this thing going. I really don't have a good feeling. I'm definitely not going to use this to do any big prints, and if I was going to do some prints, I would definitely make sure that I was going to be home, because you don't want your thermistor to clap out, even though you've probably got thermal runaway protection on these things, but still, you never know. But anyway, just putting that in now may have changed things and it may not work again, so let's give that a shot. Let's go temperature, manual, nozzle 230. Okay, let's see, is that going to start going up? Yep, so we got the temperatures going up. Is that thermistor going to hold? Anyway, those that pack of 5, I just bought 5 of them and it was going to cost me $8, so it's a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So that's cool. Anyway, that is slowly climbing up to temperature. I'll just wait till that gets to temperature and then I will start tightening things up again. Yeah. 153. So what do we have to tighten? We have to tighten these 2 scrubber screws underneath here, and that one there, I think. Let me just watch the video again.
Support the heater block with an adjustable wrench or some pliers. Seat the nozzle with a 7mm wrench. This is a critical step to avoid any leaking. If you have a torque wrench, use the 30-inch pound setting. While the hot end is still hot, fully tighten the heater cartridge and the thermal tube grub screw. Before finishing the installation, let the hot end cool.
Okay, yes, and the nozzle, that was the main thing, right? We want to do that nozzle. How's that temperature looking? So it's up to 230. Now hopefully it's not going to climb too much higher because the fan's not actually on there at the moment. So it stopped at 230, so that's good. All right, so we need to tighten this nozzle, and I'm sorry about these angles. They're just, you're not really getting to see much there, are you? So let's see, is that actually the right? No, that's way too big. That's way too big. That looks like it's for the nozzle. Yep. So, how am I going to hold this block? Maybe with a pair of multi-grips. I reckon that's tight. That's pretty tight. All right, so let's do this one. You guys see what I'm doing there? Probably not. Okay, so that's a bit tighter. And we have to get these grubber screws from underneath, and I think this is the same Allen key. Yep. And you do get a little bit more of a twist out of it, you know, when it's hot. All right. So I think that's fine. This heatsink is actually, this heatsink actually isn't hot. I thought that would get hot and melt these wires from the BL Touch, but yeah, no, it's not even really warm, to be honest with you. So that's good. That's actually, oh, that's mega hot. That hot end's very hot. and we are on 230 degrees. So that thermostat is working at the moment, but I'm not sure how long it will last. All right, so I guess what I'm going to do now, I think they say to cool down. Cooling. So do you just hit cooling? Yep, now it's temperature is going down now. 23, 223, 220. Okay, so I wonder if I can actually just put this on. Although, you know what I don't have? Oh, actually, what I might do first, if I put that on now, I'm not sure whether to put that on or put the Bowden tube in first. Sorry, I'm not even looking at this camera while I'm working. Now, because the Bowden tube is actually, I think you can actually cut some of this Bowden tube off, to be honest with you. I've seen some guys do it because you don't need as much of it now because this isn't going down into the actual hot end. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it right now. I might do it later on. I might actually put this Bowden tube, in fact, I have to pull this off, don't I? In fact, can I get this one off here? Does that have to slide along that direction and we take it off at that end? I'm not sure. Maybe we should watch this video a bit more.
Keep in mind there is no fan blowing. Cooling down will take longer. After it cools down, install the silicone sock. Install the Bowden tube. Use the collet clip provided with the kit to eliminate.
Oh, that was no help. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to disconnect this end and actually slide. I think this slides that way, but it won't slide the other way. Yeah, so it'll go that way, but it won't come this way. Oh, maybe unless I push that, depress this thing. Let's see what happens if I push this in. Oh, it does work. Yeah, it's coming off. You just have to squeeze this down. Oh, come on. Being so good before. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. There we go. It's a bit fugly there. In fact, I am going to cut a bit of that end off because it's a bit fugly at the moment. Is that going straight? That's straight now. That should be good. All right. Now, where's that sock? So this is our sock, and that should go on that way, I'm assuming. All right. Now I have to find the screws that hold that cover on, and I think I have found them in this bag that's full of all the old stuff. I think that's them there. So let's pull those out, see if we can get this cover on. In fact, I might put the Bowden tube on first. Okay. All right, so we got these screws ready to put this cover on. Am I going to put that cover on, or should I put this Bowden tube? I might put the Bowden tube in first, eh? And I need one of these clips. This here had to be pushed down very tight, very hard. So I'm just going to put you down and kind of hold this and push down. Ah, there we go. I think that's on right. In fact, that sock isn't even cold. I reckon that's cooled down all the way. So I am going to can you guys see what I'm doing? Nope. Sorry again about this. It's not an instructional video that I'm doing. I'm just playing, and if you guys want to just watch, you're more than welcome. There we go. One. Two. Alright, so that looks pretty decent. That looks pretty good. Now we have to re-level the whole bed and all of that kind of stuff, but it's hilarious. That literally took them maybe 30 seconds to explain that whole video, and what did it take me? Probably an hour and a half messing around and breaking stuff. But so far, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I don't think I'll publish this video. This is a bit dodgy, the whole camera work and all of that kind of stuff. But maybe, I don't know, see how I feel. But yeah, at least that thermistor's working again. But yeah, I wouldn't rely on it, I wouldn't trust it. We will replace that when we get the new ones. But for now, I am just going to pause you, I think, and see if I can level this bed, and then we'll get a print going and I'll bring you back, okay?